So, Coach, Penn State, their roster's kind of grown up. They got 4 upperclassmen starters, a couple transfers. How have you seen them evolve?
I think I look at them last year to this year, and the maturation between even the players that are still there to now. Shay's a sophomore, but she's playing very well. Obviously, you add in all the like you said, the upperclassmen who have 4 fifth-year players that compete really hard. They play a style of basketball that they try to speed you up. They want to score a lot of points, turn you over, and I think they've done a really good job of that. They played a solid non-conference schedule. I know they're sitting at 2 and 3 like we are in the league, but they put themselves in a good spot.
Right. How do you feel like you need to be more active maybe in trying to keep your team level-headed against a squad like that?
Yeah, it's just I trust the maturity of our upperclassmen, and I think sometimes we can all do a better job as a unit, just kind of keeping even keeled when things start to get rattled a little bit. But we watched our game with Maryland, pretty disappointed in ourselves. And hopefully we don't allow that to happen again.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you feel like you guys are off track a little bit at this point?
No, we're 2 and 3 in conference. Played 5 games. We lost a road game to Maryland. We lost to the number 2 team in the country. The one that bothers us is the Minnesota loss. Outside of that, one, beat Wisconsin, beat Rutgers like we were supposed to do. I think off track is a little far-fetched for us. It's 13 games left in the season, and we take it one at a time. And next up for us is on the road at Penn State against a really good team, and we got to figure out how to fight and come out up on top.
Ashley,
Man, first game she comes in and as 18, 5 and 5, elite passer, elite understanding of the game. She's never been really a dominant three-point shooter, but she steps up and goes 1 for 2. Her ability in ball screen offense, it's kind of one of those situations where you hope you haven't played golf in a really long time. You go out, you shoot a low score. The next time out, you struggle. So hopefully it's one of those for her, for our sake. But Ashley can play, and it's good to have her back on the court.
Coach, as far as minimizing the turnovers, where do you feel like maybe the field is on the court? Do you feel like it's just a mental thing of feeling pressure?
No, up until Maryland, we had done a pretty good job of taking care of the basketball. I think against Wisconsin, Rutgers, Iowa, our numbers were lower than normal. Mm-hmm. What hurt us against Maryland were live ball turnovers. We did some silly things. We dribbled the ball off our foot 3 or 4 times, just stuff that doesn't happen. And then our live ball turnovers, and it was our quick shots that were kind of like turnovers that led to transition buckets for Maryland. So Penn State's going to do the same thing. They're going to try to speed you up, force you to take quick shots. Sounds great if you're making those shots, but if you're not, you got to make sure you calm down and you're working the ball with and making sure we're getting the right shot.
And they run a lot of high screens as well.
They sure do. Got to answer. And all of them are different, right? The way 4 comes off the high on ball, the way 20 comes off the high on ball, the way 2 comes off the high on ball. Now you add an Owusu who comes off the high on ball. We've got to be locked into coverage and coverage out, depending on who has the basketball. We spent a decent amount of time on it yesterday. Going to review quite a bit today. Got to shoot around tomorrow. Just making sure we put our kids in the best spot that they understand. And with a team like that that's such offensive firepower, you try to make them beat you with what they're not good at, right? If you allow them to do what they're good at, then they're going to have a day. But if you can try to take away what they're best at and make them beat you with maybe their second or third best option, we'll see what happens.
What's the message to this team in the middle of a tough stretch like this? You have another Big Ten road game tomorrow, and then you got obviously IU Sunday.
Yeah, well, you're in a Big Ten season, so every stretch is tough, right? I talked to Dave about it, and he's like, no matter who you are, you're gonna have a tough night in the Big Ten. Look at the men's team, right? it's the nature of playing in the Big Ten. It's why you chose to come to Purdue and play in the Big Ten. And for us, it's about putting our head down, trusting our work, and just trying to figure out a way through this.
Last year, Madison shot 25% from three.
Yeah.
Up to 50. What's the difference other than the ball going in the bench?
Yeah, I think she's at a really good place. I think there's a little bit more joy in playing the game again. Whether that's, Kenna being here and just feeling a little bit, stress off his shoulders. But there just seems to be a little bit more joy in her eyes when you watch her play games and in practice. Whether she comes back next year or not, that's to be determined. But I think she's just having fun.
What do you see out of Mary Ashley Stevenson day after day that's allowing her to maintain that level of consistency that keeps her on the court?
I don't work out with any other kids but Mary Ashley. There's every other day I feel like I'm getting a text, Coach, can we work out? And what's great is now Rashunda is starting to text me, and Emily has texted me, Elena is texting me. These kids are, and that's what it is. I mean, the kid never stops working. There's a lot she's processing and thinking through out there. For us, it's just relax and play basketball because she's skilled and she knows what she's doing, but she just works at it.
Can your body handle all those workouts?
Can mine?
Yeah.
At 39, it still can right now. I got through 2 yesterday. It's a good thing for me. Our GA is pretty young and she can run and chase long rebounds.